something that I typically see that people go after the consequence and not actually the reason that had caused the consequence, the actual issue. You know, people get upset about like gas prices or even like why there's so many cars and dealerships can upmarket and make them so expensive. And this is just a byproduct. This is a consequence. America was never this great fond place for everyone. And yeah, you in a weird way the racists are correct, but not in the way that like they don't even understand it themselves. It wasn't always a great place for everyone. And they're kind of right. They're like, oh, I want it only good for these people, like it was in the old days. And that's why they're bad. It's like, yeah, you notice how it's only good for these select people? And when everyone's like, yeah, bring it back. Bring it back. It wasn't good for us back then. It wasn't good for the majority of people. It's like we need new ideas because we're like, I want it good for the most amount of people it can be good for. And that's a lot of people. We can make these things good. We don't have to sacrifice someone. It is not a mandatory thing. But people will always say, oh, it will take too much time, or oh, and then they try to incentivize like instant gratification as a sufficient reason to not give everyone a fair shake. It'll take too much time. We're on a floating rock in the middle of space going who knows where. We have nothing but time to figure it out. But it's always presented as like, there's not enough time. And then it's like the only reason that we're on a time crunch is because we keep doing things like the rich, the elite, the people who have power that are in power and have been in power have been consistently killing the planet. And it's not like we're not aware that it was doing that. And I'm pretty sure people even back then could be like, something doesn't feel right about this. But it's like my pockets, bottom, my bottom line. As, so it's like constantly having to really fight against and this is an active thing. This is not like, oh, this so happens just be human nature. No, this is something that is chosen to happen. As being a good person is a action that someone does intentionally. Being malicious or being bad is also an action. It needs energy. You can't like so as for every action there's a equal and opposite reaction. So to do anything, to push anything with any force, you must have you know the proper force. And if you lay upon any force, if you have a force greater, then it will move. All that scientific stuff means, in a philosophical sense, that anything can be done with human hands. Problems that were created by a number of people, even if a million people back then agreed this was the right way, all you would need is 1,000,001 to push it another way. Now, obviously, if you have 1,000,001, it'll still be kind of slow. So you would need 2,000,000 to change it quicker, 3,000,000 to change it quicker, 4,000,000, and so on and so forth. If it's a 1,000,000 man problem, put 2,000,000 people towards it. But like um, it's a simplification. But yeah, there are going to be people that don't want to move something. It doesn't want to change something, that they're comfortable, and that's the issue. There's so many people that are comfortable, and like it's yeah. So you have to kind of get people to not be comfortable. It's not drastic change that is needed, but change is needed. And when people keep making change sound like, oh, we're gonna instantly do this, I'm like, with what people? With what number? What math are you using? What? No, we're just gonna do it. Like what? Like I always get confused because I'm like, when anyone does this, it makes me feel. Um, it feels like I'm watching one of those hyped YouTube channels and I know that it's gonna fall. I'm watching someone get really popular and then the fall off, and then you get the has been videos. Where did this person go? Why did this not work? And then someone actually like, yeah, okay, here's all the down. Like people like to talk about like the downside of things because like I think it's far easier to talk about like why something didn't work, and it's more interesting to be like, oh, instant gratification, fall off. Like a slide, like watching someone, you go up a slide, then down. But then, like, I'm only supposed to watch people go up the slide. I can't myself go up the slide, or myself can't like see, yeah, okay, what's also fun, a swing, or just other things. Like if I maybe we should stop going down a slide if we always get so drastically disappointed when we get down that slide. I'd rather not take that slide then. I would rather not do it at all if it keeps reoccurring in that action and it keeps disappointing me. So I figure out like what's a slide. So if I'm going down a slide, I'm gonna enjoy the slide. And when it's my time, when I'm done, I think that's the solution. Figure out how to enjoy it when you do fall. Like that's I've had a lot of heroes, and when they fall, they don't fall with grace. Like they're still like, I'm still at the top of the slide. I'm like, dude, you're at the bottom of the slide. Get off. No one can slide down. Like everyone just kind of stuck. Like, yes, I'm in the same spot. You're just slightly elevated because you're sitting on the slide, but you're not even that high up. I'm like, are we that different? Are we that like? Are we done playing pretend? Just get in the back of the line. Slide on the side again. Oh, but the line's long. So what? You know, if you're done playing with the slide, or just wait until later. I don't know. Like I honestly, that's just how all of this goes. I just hear people complaining and whining, and I'm like, okay, so if we actually fix it, are you really committed to fixing it? And then like, I was watching a video about like someone talking about truck dealerships or car dealerships and just how they're up market, and then he said something like the free market. We should make it the free market. I'm like, okay, yeah, that it's like YouTube videos right now are just this giant pile of highly produced but low quality checked educational material. Because I saw two videos in particular. That one and a video talking about why people don't eat pork. And they were both, decent quality, heavy cameras. So I was like, yeah, like normally that's my first cue. I'm like, who's making this video? Because this is really highly produced. I don't know the channel, but I'm like, I don't know this person. So I'm randomly getting into this, jumping in the middle of it. And I'm aware I'm jumping into the middle of it. Who's telling me the story? I don't know. Are they saying something I agree with or I'm interested in? Sure. I want to see how this story goes. But like me, I'm listening. And then I hear, like, luckily for me, I already had pre-established knowledge in some of these things, or already had some trigger words that I'm like, you said that pretty quick. Why'd you put that at the end? Why didn't you start with that? What is leading? So, for the car video, I heard free market. Now, I'm not gonna go into all the things about the free market. I just personally, from what I've heard, I don't like what I'm hearing. That's all I have to say. I don't trust it. It's a bit because of the West Wing and just like the politics around it. I don't trust it. So that's leaving that there. But with the video about the pork, it was a guy who, sounded all articulate, had, pop-ups showing his evidence and his backing. But I felt like because he was talking about why don't people eat pork. Now, I'm gonna say this. Granted, I didn't watch the entire video. Didn't care to didn't like. I felt something off. Like my intuition was like, so I'm not gonna critique it like step by step because like I didn't watch it all. Sometimes I just like if I don't feel like I feel off, click, and I'm not even gonna deal with it. I don't. Now, if there was ever a case where I actually had to do this for any reason, if someone called me out, say watch the whole thing, sure. But I'm saying like I didn't watch the whole thing. That's me. But like when I watched it, he was talking about, oh, I can't find how this president's in history, why we don't eat pork. Is it a religious thing? Is it Islam? Is it Judaism? And here's where some of the text. And as someone who doesn't eat pork, the reason I don't eat pork is because like I've seen a video of a pig eating like some garbage, some tampons, some just like prepackaged meat, and I believe right now that the FDA and all of those administrations aren't really doing proper checks, especially when it comes to pigs. And I'm like, it's something that like is also high in sodium. I'm trying to cut sodium down, even though I eat a lot of salty things. So it's just one thing to cut out. And it's like I just don't want to get sick. I think it's the easiest way to get sick. That's what I think. Now, I feel better about it. I still eat meat. Like I eat beef, I eat chicken. There might be plenty of issues with that, but like that's the majority of my reason. And I feel like he doesn't really talk about it. Again, noting, I did like skim through the video. I didn't hear him ever mention this, but again, I go, why isn't that the first one? Like, why couldn't it just be like, why is it him speaking about this? And the first thing that I get is like, he's speaking about like the religious context. And it went on, like I jumped into the middle and it's still this religious context. I think that really shows like, hey, it's getting into something deep, but it becomes convoluted. Like, are you actually asking someone? Are you genuinely trying to get behind why people in modern day do it? Are you talking to people who actually are of those religions or of those spaces? And it's just like a guy talking, which I don't know. I don't think that he's anti-eating pork. It's not me hearing why he didn't choose to eat pork. I'm just hearing him explain to me like history. And like by the time, it gets done, it just makes me feel like we're more disconnected. Like I don't feel like I'm truly educated. Like I know a history, or I suppose I'm hearing a history, but who is this guy? And that's why I feel with a lot of videos. I'm just hearing things from people that I don't know if they have any sort of like degree, any sort of position or status, or how long they did this research. And it sounds very smart and articulate, but I can't navigate and trust what I heard. If it's wrong in any way or it has any bias, how am I supposed to check that? That's like a mighty big problem there. And I think that's what like YouTube has made this entire content around like it's a very intellectual, like a grandstanding, very smart in aesthetics, but it fails because like YouTube used to just be a place where people could post their videos and show them, and like I can't even find a majority of the videos that I used to watch, or just like things that would like interest me, just like people posted in the world, unless I specifically look for it. The algorithms are so strong that it's like fighting against the current. Like you're not gonna find the things that you like, or find things that you find interesting. You're gonna find things that you will engage with, and then another thing that you'll engage with, and another. And it's like, I guess, like, like you can click on one Sopranos, one The Wire, one whatever, like Breaking Bad, and you're stuck in not only edits, loops, shorts. I can't even turn shorts off. I can't turn shorts off. I don't want to watch shorts. Like sometimes it's just like, oh, I watch shorts of a Vine, and then like the comments will be off, and I'll find it 15 times, and it'll be re-edited and sometimes close up, or sometimes it has the most the worst music. Like are you trying to show clips? Are you trying to make an edit? It sounds terrible though, and I'm like, I don't feel hyped. I don't feel inspired. It doesn't make me want to hit the gym. It makes me want to get off the phone and just like cry into my hands for a second. I'm like, I used to have something in life, like at least like I had the $5 foot long, and that's also nostalgia bait. I used to like nostalgia bait. I used to cry at things that I used to, enjoy. But then I got over it. It happened. I'm glad it happened. I can't go back, and I'm spending so much time, uh, uh, being back in the day, and I'm like, was it really a great time? Forget all the abuse. I'm like, is it really as good as I'm making it out to be? Like, was it really that great? And when I hear people constantly like, I want to go back, I want to go back, think about like all the injustice that didn't get solved until years later. That's what I tell people. You're like, oh, I want to go back. Imagine your family died, like a family member had died. And I say not murdered, just you know fell in a cave or a ravine, and they couldn't find their body, and it only took like 10 years to find, and then it takes you 10 more years to grieve and cry, and you remember that your mom, like their mom, your mom, let's say it's your brother, and she died hoping that he would return. And you got to deal with that. And you had 10 years plus 10 years more. And you want someone to go back so you can watch SpongeBob? You can watch SpongeBob? You want to watch SpongeBob that bad? Like SpongeBob isn't on streaming services. You had, it's like, oh man, I miss old Call of Duty. Go play old Call of Duty. Like, load it up. It's like, oh, all it has is hackers and modders. It's like, I don't know. Listen, it sounds like there's enough people that could just play the game, but it doesn't sound like you guys really want to play the game. It sounds like you just want to talk about the past. You just like, you need something good. You need like a win. Most people wouldn't even want to be kids again. Like I like yeah, there's a niceness of being young, but that's because like the illusion of freedom, or the absence of consequences, or the thought of the absence of consequences. Like most of you, if given a second chance, would do the exact same things that put you in the predicament that got you in the situation in the first place. You know why? Because you exist now, and it's like there are things that people would absolutely avoid. If I went in the past, I wouldn't be standing here. You think like people go, oh, if I went to the past, I would get into Bitcoin, and I would do this. Do you think you're a good enough person? Like people really think that they're a good person. That's why they think that their wishes are not as harmful as they are. When you go back in time, if you were to, forgetting like the butterfly effect, even if you did, it would change everything already. But you're taking from someone that could have earned it, someone who deserved it. You think, oh, I deserve it. Oh, I would remember the lottery numbers. What about if someone won the lottery and they actually did good things with it, better than what you did? Oh, no, I'll donate to charity. What if they actually said, hey, feet to ground, boots on ground, I'm going to deliver this food myself, and they did better than you? You don't even know. You're just saying like, oh, I would do better. Oh, these guys with the lottery money, they're doing bad. Oh, these rich billionaires. Are you gonna sit there and take down conglomerates? Are you gonna sit there and dox all these? Even if you went back in time, knew all this stuff, who's gonna believe you? Even if you had documented proof, it's not even like I think that people just assume things just happen just because like people know bad stuff exists. People know people do bad things. Like they have the proof and evidence, but they're genuinely scared. You think that every cold case is unsolvable? No, they're witnesses, and they're people that can easily solve these things. But there's another crime. It's connected to something that would cause, more people to get harmed. People are scared. I think that society suffers from this simplicity, this oversimplicity, this thought that it's easy, therefore, like, I'm good because I'm simple, and simple is good, and keep it simple, and never let things go into the convoluted. And if I don't see it, and it doesn't see me, I keep my eyes covered. That's it. I'm like, it's more complex than this, and I wish, like, I don't know if I wish it to be simple. I like I just know that it's not that simple. If it was that simple, I don't think it would have went this far. I think that simple things are easy to deduce because they can be easily reversed. But like that's why kids are easy to kind of figure out when they're young, because it's easy. You can listen to how a kid talks in some regard. They're complex in when they are learning and figuring it out for themselves, and then they start to get tricky because then it's you're trying to relate to someone in a different time with different sets of like that has more energy, but you don't know what information they have access to. You don't know what they know. That's what makes it hard because they're a human being, an autonomous person. But like little kids are easy and simple because for the most part, this is what they're exposed to. This is how their minds would most likely target things, colors and shapes. Um, then to maybe letters and numbers. It's based on how you present it. And it's easier to kind of backtrack and like, oh, I figured out this is the steps that they're taking. I don't know what path they're gonna go, but it always starts here. So let's see how far it goes. That's the interesting part. It's simple, I guess, but it doesn't make it any less difficult. It's still simple can also be complex. Like this is a simple cave. Like this is a simple ant farm. They just dug a lot of tunnels over years. Now there's many tunnels connected. Like I simply started here, then I dug to the left, then I dug to the right, then I dug down, then I dug up. And I did that 1,000 times. Now we're here. It's simple. Yeah. Like that's my problem. Like it's when does simple turn complex? When does complex become simple? It's like when you figure things out, yeah, that's the form of elegance. That it really is. That's why it's like everyone thinks that they can be a YouTube personality. That's why everyone thought at a time that they could do those FaZe Clan edits. Their Minecraft Let's Plays would take off. It's because they thought it was simple. They saw and I think that every kid that had come to a realization like a crash and burn asked themselves, what made them different from me? And then you can see it's like, oh man, their camera quality was better, their mics were better, the friends were saying funnier things. Oh, they always jumped into something funny. And then people realize, oh, it's manufactured, it's artificial, it's not just natural. And you could tell, like, how do you produce so many funny things over and over and over and over again? And sometimes you sit there and recognize when you get a little bit older, it's not as funny as it once was. And it becomes funny because it's not funny. They're like, I really thought this was funny. Look how far I've come. I used to watch YouTube poops. I used to watch a YouTube poop called Band Geeks. That's like when I watch it now, and I showed my girlfriend, I'm like, just look at what I was watching. That was the highest form of humor in my brain at the time. If you put me in anything, like I'm not saying that Like, I had no frame of reference for humor. That's why I don't dog children or other people for like finding things amusing. I sit there and I recognize like that was brain rot. I can see how kids get into it. Now I'm trying to like steer my niece and others away from it because I'm like, I also had this advantage of having fun and smart computer games that were stimulating to my brain, puzzle games that interest me. But like I suffer in this way of like I can't even look them up. I can't get them. They're not cheap or readily available because people now know that they're effective and they know that uh, they're costly because people are like, hey, I remember this. And when people know, they're like, hey, I can make a deal out of this. I can, because people want it, I can make a business out of it. People aren't smart. They're malicious. And their malicious nature gets this kind of like pat on the back and saying, oh, well, you got to give it to him. He's a genius for taking all the copies of something that could help humanity and making it a scarce resource. Like, it makes me want to hit people in the mouth. Like, it just like, why do we, like, I'm tired of people giving kudos or just like, maybe violence is never the answer, ever. They always say it at like a place where it's like, if someone was hitting you and you just wanted to stop, you're not gonna sit there and be like, what have I done? You're gonna hit them and you're gonna hit them until they stop hitting you, and then you're gonna go look for help until you stop hurting. Maybe then you'll deal with the complexities of mortality. Maybe you'll sit there and say, I didn't want to do that, but he was hitting me and I almost thought I was gone, so I had to. It was him or me. There's a reason. That's why I hate Batman. Like, I don't hate anyone, but I dislike Batman comics. They're the worst type of hypocrisy that you can only see from a, a race and party in power, because that's what it is. Batman is a white guy that's mentally ill, that gets to beat up people and then play morality god because he has money and no one's going to stop him. Superman could go into Gotham City, take everybody out, like all the criminals, put them in a jail on the moon if they were really that dangerous, and end all be all. There's literally so many Green Lanterns, and you got some cosmic level threats, and they just don't have a jail. Like I'm like they're like, oh, we're gonna take them to Oa, and then they'll escape. If this was realistic in any way, there wouldn't be that many people that escape. And most media, I'm gonna be honest, it's just child soldiers. Like, if you watch anything on like Nickelodeon, or you like, at least back in the day, it was just child soldiers. I watched Naruto, I watched anime. It was just like, child soldiers. Like, some acknowledged it, like, hey, child soldiers are wrong. But they got so flanderized and so cool that people forgot the child soldier being bad thing. Like, these kids are effective, and they never show like the real like damage. And I'm like, so when you become a child soldier, and then you get out of being a child soldier, and you're just an adult now, and you have PTSD, and that you've done all that you've ever known, you do go back into systems because that's all you've ever known. That is why nostalgia is dangerous. Because guess what? Nostalgia is dangerous to everyone. You might sit there and think, wow, everything's good and everything's nice. And when it's not, you're not paying attention. You can't help put out the flames because you're sitting there in nostalgia. And then the guy that's going crazy because like all he knows is his training. So when things are good, he doesn't know. He's like, oh, I'm back in Saigon. It's like you see just people go crazy because they're still stuck in the past. And it's like, it's PTSD. And I'm like, please, this is PTSD. This is literally post-traumatic stress disorder. going back into a happy place. It's called maladaptive daydreaming. I feel like we only pin it to those with ADHD or those, and we don't really have a name for it, but because it's not really done the same way, it's not as advanced, so we don't give it the advanced name. But I see that people that stuck in this nostalgia are just maladaptive daydreaming. They they're just better with their words and explaining it. They're just more comfortable verbally expressing it instead of keeping it in silence and bunching it in. That they long for a time that is that wasn't even there. When I was maladaptive daydreaming, all I could think about is a girl that never that 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 didn't talk to me in these ways, but I kept impressing her. I thought of, I imagined what women were and how they were, and I added to it because it was like I would go out, talk to people, engage with people, and be like, oh, women can do this and this and this. And in my mind, I recognized that they're just people. So they became characters that I could play with. But what was easier for me is it was actually kind of a weird reverse. Like I maladapted daydream with humanity first, but it became too complex, hard to predict because it felt disgusting. You know, putting someone in a relationship that wasn't making these things come true, and that's like basically what reality television is. I decided that these people weren't characters, so I decided to switch to something easy, and it was anime, and it was comic books, and it was easier then because like these, I can make these characters do whatever, like the creators can do, and then I can do what I think would be inverse in their actual character, what was written before, and something that would be a part of them, and